before Mike was a Broncos guy. He was a Rockies beat guy. So let me ask you, Mike, about Nolan. I'm emotional. A lot of fans are emotional. You seem much more subdued about this trade, though.
Yeah, I've always been dispassionate when it came to covering the Rockies, observing the Rockies. And I understand the outrage, and it is unfortunate they lost a guy as great as Nolan Arenado. I was one of the first, that noticed that the guy was special and how he fielded a ground ball and made these defensive plays. But here's what I looked at. I understood the trade for this reason. In the 2 years before they gave him that big deal, the Rockies were in the playoffs. In the 2 years since they gave him that big deal, the inflexibility of their payroll to correct their roster meant they were 29 games under 500. So business-wise and really in an attempt to win, I understood why they made the move.
Let's move to the Broncos now. Matthew Stafford, you tweeted out the other day, you had the story about it. Denver was interested in the Lions quarterback. What does that say about their opinion on Drew Lock, Mike?
I think they sent the message, and by the way, while the Lions asked for Drew Lock, the Broncos in the end did not offer him in their final package. They tried to get away with picks, but they sent the message that, look, Drew, it wasn't good enough. And there's nothing wrong with that. If they were after a corner, would you worry about a cornerback's feelings? If they were after a wide receiver, would you worry about the number 3 receiver?
Okay, so we saw it took everything to trade for Matthew Stafford. What would it take if Denver wanted to actually get Deshaun Watson? It seems like they'd have to give up everything.
Well, John McClain, who's basically mike-klis times 3 with the Houston Texans as far as being deep inside with that organization, he said it would take 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 young defensive players. So right there, I would say the Broncos are going to have a tough time. They're going to have to come off that asking price, if that's what it is, in order for the Broncos to swing a deal. But the Broncos will have a seat at the table. I think they've already heard that, Deshaun Watson, through in between people, that Deshaun Watson would be interested in playing with the Broncos. Others, of course, also.